liked that our Jack Ryan, our version of Jack Ryan, was someone who you may know in your life. He could be your history teacher, he could be your accountant, he could be your best friend. He is very much an everyman, and he's very smart, but he doesn't, when he finds himself in an extraordinary situation, you know, much like MacGyver or something, he's got to figure out a way out. He doesn't know exactly what to do, but he has to think on his feet, and I like that quality of men thinking on his feet, that his brawn isn't his muscles or his fists, his brawn is his mind, and his ability to analyze quickly and go with his gut. And speaking of gut, I think too, what makes Jack Ryan an interesting character, and it sounds, I guess, a little, it sounds almost earnest and simple, but that he's a good man, and that Jack Ryan is the man that you want to be president. He's the man that you want to be your best friend, because he's got that good heart, he's got that good soul, he's got that quality of character that makes him the leader that you want to lead. I think in developing the script, we wanted to make sure that our Kathy Mueller, who plays Jack Ryan's fiancée in the film, wasn't just a passive character who was kind of the, you know, the addendum character, the love interest, or we didn't want her to be boring. So we wanted a smart, strong, obviously beautiful woman to play the part, and Keira Knightley obviously fits the bill. Tom Harper is played by Kevin Costner, and he finds Jack when Jack is recuperating at Walter Reed, and in the same moment really where Jack falls in love with his future wife, Tom Harper, who's an admiral in the Navy and it turns out works for the CIA, he's a deputy director, is watching Jack struggling to walk, fighting as hard as he can to overcome this insane physical obstacle that he's found himself trying to overcome. And he approaches Jack and asks Jack to join up. He read his PhD, realizes Jack's intelligence, and probably sees, respects and finds a quality in Jack's stubbornness and his drive, his just will to succeed that is attractive to that organization. Everything that Jack's about to go up against when he meets Victor Shrevin in Moscow, Tom Harper has seen. So he's, you know, he's that figure of intelligence and, you know, sage advice and calm Zen-like wisdom. Ken Branagh, who's directing the film, is also playing Victor Shrevin, and Victor Shrevin is a hedge fund manager who runs a private bank that works with the bank that I work with in the States. And I've been sent over to Moscow because I've found in my analysis of their accounts that Victor Shrevin is hiding money from the company for which I work. I tell my handler about this. I tell Tom Harper about this through an intermediary. I let him know that there's some fishy stuff going on. And Jack, I think at that point early on in the film, is putting together some stuff about what may be going on in this terrorist attack that eventually does happen. He's so specific, so organized. Behind the camera, Ken knows exactly what he wants. I've never done a film that has moved as fast as we do. For a film that could easily cost much more, could easily take a lot longer. It's Ken's specificity, and it's his knowing exactly what he wants to achieve in the day that makes the day go by fast, that makes my job all that much easier. Well, we were very lucky. David Koepp wrote the script, and David Koepp's resume speaks for itself. So we had a really fantastically structured script. It was very tight. The plot was really rich. Characters were well developed as well. I knew nothing about the military, so I spent time in Los Angeles with some Marines and at the Marine Recruiting Center, and I spent time here in Britain, in the UK, at a rehab center with military veterans that were experiencing things very similar to what Jack goes through, so I could get a sense of what that was like. I had no idea about that. And Ken, to his credit, kind of developed this little mini prep course before we started the film, where we went around, visited the London School of Economics, visited a private bank. We got a sense of what it was like to trade shares and what trading futures was like, and derivatives and all this kind of stuff that I just had no idea about. I think Jack comes into this, Jack is already a very grounded, centered man. He knows very much who he is. There's a quiet, for lack of a, there's a quiet intelligence and a quiet heroism about him. But like all people, he doesn't know in that extraordinary circumstance, which, because we make Hollywood films, saving the world, if he can do it or not. I remember watching the films growing up and watching someone like Harrison Ford do it. There was always a quality to him that even if a superior were to tell him something to do, if he didn't believe it was right in his heart, in his mind, in his bones, if he didn't think it was something that was worth doing, he wouldn't do it, and he would fight back. And that is to me the definition of a good man and a hero, someone I would like to watch on screen. Watching Alec Baldwin do it, I mean, Hunt for Red October remains one of my favorite films, and there's a scene when he's shaving, and Alec, I always thought, gave him a strong confidence. You never doubted for a second that he wasn't going to get on that submarine. So I kind of always thought about marrying the two, this kind of quiet intelligence that I thought that that Harrison brought to it, this kind of fierce confidence that Alec had, and kind of somewhere in the middle is that relatable guy that, again, like I said before, someone that he could be your history professor, he could be your best friend, or I don't know, or he could be Jack Ryan.